Drawing Lewis structures for charged compounds. Alright, I've done this before, okay, but for the sake of this video and for the sake of this class, alright, I will be doing this again. Now listen guys, there's nothing too different between this and that. The calculation aspect is the same, but there's just a slight difference, alright? So now look at this guys. So I will be doing for number 3 and number 6, okay? Then please you try number 4, 5. Of course number 5 does not have a charge now, right? You try number 4, 5 and 7 as your assignment, okay? So let's do number 3, alright? So we have number 3 is ClO2 minus, alright? ClO2 minus. Now remember what I told you about the central atom, right? Now in this case, if you look at it very well, okay, if you look at it very well, you realize that chlorine is even in a way, is it less or more electronegative? Is it less or more electronegative than oxygen? Are they in the same period?
No.
Are they in the same period? So it's not. Alright? But now, remember I told you that that should not even be your concern at this stage. Your concern should be on the one that has one atom. The one that has what? One atom. So chlorine has one atom. Okay? So choose it. We have chosen chlorine as our central atom, right? Yeah. Okay, so now choose chlorine. Now, the next thing is to calculate our bonding electrons, which is X equal to V minus what? A. Now, V is equal to, chlorine is 8. Chlorine obeys the octet rule, so it is what? 8 plus, excuse me. Oxygen is also what? 8. So this is 8 times what? 2. Alright? So 8 plus 8 times 2 is what? 16, right? So 16 plus 8 to give us what? 24. Therefore A. Now you might be wondering, now where does this minus come into play? Now listen. When it comes to octet electrons, I am talking, some of you are writing, please listen. When it comes to octet electrons, please, the charge does not affect the octet electrons. The charge does not affect the what? Octet electrons. What the charge affects is the valence electrons, not the octet electrons. So now, valence electrons for chlorine is what? 7, because chlorine is in group 7. Plus oxygen is in group what? 6 times what? 2. Now look at it. ClO2 is carrying minus sign at the top, right? Yeah. Now listen. That minus sign in chemistry, when you have a negative charge, it means that that particular compound or molecule has gained electrons. But if it is plus, it has lost electrons. So now what it means is that whenever you have minus, listen, you add. Whenever you have plus, you what? Subtract. So now this minus now will be plus what? Plus 1. If we had 2 minus here, for instance, like this CO3 2 minus and SO4 2 minus, we would have added 2. But now because it is just minus, that's why we're adding what? 1. So this will be equal to 7 plus 12 plus what? 1, which will give us what? 20. So it means that our X will be equal to 24 minus 20, which will give us what? 4. So the bonds now, remember our bonds is equal to what? X over 2, right? So this is 4 over 2, which will give us what? 2. Alright? 4 over 2, which will give us 2. Now the next thing to do is to write the central atom that we chose at the beginning. What did we choose as the central atom? Chlorine. So write Cl. How many elements are surrounding oxygen? There is 2 atoms of oxygen, right? 2 atoms of oxygen, right? Yes. There are 2 atoms of oxygen surrounding chlorine, rather. So we say O here. We say O here. How many bonds? How many bonds? 2 bonds. So we say 1, 2. Alright, we say 1, 2. Alright, so now look at these guys. Now, chlorine is having how many electrons here? 4 electrons. It's not happy. Chlorine has not obeyed the octet rule. So how many electrons do chlorine need? 4, right? So what do? We say 2, 4. Alright? Is there anything we are missing? Yes. Is there anything we are missing? Yes. Oxygen, right? Yes. Oxygen is not happy, right? Yes. So oxygen needs how many electrons? 6. So we say 2, 4, and what? 6. 2, 4, and I see I'm writing it. Yes. I'm not doing merry-go-round. I'm doing it in an organized manner. 2, 4, 6. 2 at the top, 2 by the side, 2 down. Alright? So now let us check if we have up to 20 electrons here. Remember, the total number of electrons here must be equal to what? 20. So let's check. Count with me.
2, 4, 6, 8,
20, right? So it's correct, right? Now there's one more thing we must do. Whenever we have a compound that has charge, we don't just stop like this. Alright? We barricade it. We do like this. And we write the what? We write the minus at the top. Whatever charge, if the charge is 2 minus, we write it as 2 minus. So this is how we solve for what compounds that have what? Charges. Alright.